This is a letter to my mother. Having been on this earth in God's grace for 22 years now, gaining experience and wisdom as I get older, I start to realize that I really wouldn't be the woman I am today without Christ, of course, but without my mother who raised 4 children, 3 boys, 1 girl, by herself as a single parent in Chicago, south side Chicago, and then on to the suburbs and all of that. But regardless of the location and environment, it takes a huge investment as a parent to continually, put time, countless hours, days, months, years, seconds, milliseconds into your child's emotions, their changes, their experiences, their hopes and their dreams. And so I would just like to thank her, my mother, for being there, simply enough, for just being there. It takes a lot, and I think that nowadays, in 2012 and so on and so forth, the newer generations, not that I'm old or anything like that, but the newer generations, they don't know how to appreciate. And people from back in the days, the 90s, 80s, some of you all don't know how to appreciate either. It's best that we learn to thank those who have helped build our foundations, and that we learn to thank God for giving us the most basic things of life. When I say basic, I'm not talking about your $5 million car or your $200,000 house. I'm talking about breath, longevity, mercy, grace, friendship. Since everybody is not so fortunate. So this is a letter to my mother for 1, simply just being there. 2, for investing time into my aspirations, my education, and my foundation. Your foundation in Christ starts in the home. And my mother has been consistent with that as I grew up. Over time I've made my own decisions, made my own choices and things like that. I've sinned. I'm not perfect. Made my mistakes. I have flaws. I'm crazy, but in the best way possible. Trust me. I'm worth it. But that's a different story. But all of those investments into my foundation has made me this God-fearing woman I am today. And I just hope that this, helps you think about things, and that, life isn't promised. Tomorrow, you may be in a situation that you can't get up out of this on your own. You may need to call on somebody. Maybe a person that's been trying to help you out of a rut for the last 5 years of your life, but you've just been so stubborn and you haven't been listening too well because you're selfish and you're greedy and you give in to the evil of this world. But you can choose today to be more grateful for your surroundings. And if your surroundings aren't so grateful, you need to change your perspective on life. And that's just real. My mother was there for me back in the days in high school when I played basketball. Power forward. And not only that, as I graduated from college, now in my master's, now pursuing my master's in graduate school, a writer, a published writer and poet, published 3 books. And I can say at the end of the day, when I give back to other people, when I volunteer a lot of my time to help others, and when I give back to the community, when I look at you and I tell you these words of wisdom, all of it, It's what I learned growing up, from a girl to a woman. But it all started somewhere. And so, Mother, this is my letter to you, and I just want to thank you for your support, unconditional love. We haven't always been on, good terms. We got into our little arguments. Me and my mother are like this, best friends. And I just want to let everybody know that you can mend your relationships. And if you have one, be grateful. If you don't, be grateful. Because there's always someone willing to fill that role. So, God bless you all. And just remember, I'm Lady Poet, Nika J. Howe. Stop negotiating your blessings for a vacancy.